Hey, what's going on guys? It's Daz here. Today I want to give you quick tips on how you can get the harder gold assignments done for each of the bolt action snipers. This is a question I get asked most and one that is definitely the biggest pain. You either got to get 10 headshots in a row while prone without dying or 20 headshots in a round altogether. Or the other where you have to kill 20 enemies while they are on the objective. So these are the ones that are definitely the most difficult. Let me preface that I do not advise going prone for any other type of gameplay, and you should always be moving. So this is strictly for this assignment. I'm not encouraging you that you utilize going prone all the time. Also for the other assignments, I feel the others are a lot easier as they require, 4 headshots in a row or kill X number of enemies, but does not add the extra required level of difficulty that I want to cover for today. If you're having trouble aiming or upping your game, I have in the description guides for each of the guns to maximize your kill potential for various specs, guides on positioning, or even a guide on how to improve your overall aim. Those will be the best to start off to get you in a strong place. If you have follow-up questions, hit me up in the comment section. I'll be more than happy to help out. Now let us cover the hardest portion for completing all the gold assignments. Let's cover the game modes best for doing this, and then we're going to cover the maps for the best game modes. The guide is focusing for the gold for the Lienfeld, the M95, the Krag, and the K98. Now game modes in order from hardest to easiest are TDM, Domination, Breakthrough Defending, Airborne, Conquest, and Breakthrough Attacking. Now the reason why TDM and Domination are the hardest is because the play zone is just too small, and having to go prone while every other player is running around like a maniac is not going to go over well for you. Without anyone on the objective, you're also going to be quite out of luck. Same for Domination, it just isn't going to work out when the play zone for objectives is quite small. Breakthrough, Defending, and Airborne suffer from the same issue. You want the round to last longer, and it doesn't when you're given less time to achieve these assignments. Also, the problem you run into is that you can only retreat so far, and having the enemy on the objective most likely means you have to push back and die. Not impossible, and actually how I got one of mine for the Krag, but the odds are going to be against you. Now the easiest for obtaining the gold snipers and what I recommend is actually Conquest and Breakthrough Attacking. This puts the positioning in your control and you can set the pacing. If you are hurt, then you can retreat, get health, and come back in. Also for the pesky prone tactic, the rule of thumb is you need to move after each kill, because once you nail the kill, they know where you are, and that's going to result in your death. Also why defending is so difficult to keep the streak. Also the game can be longer if you are pushing through the points, or on Conquest because you can control the pacing of the game. Need the round to last longer, get the kills, and have your squad push. So let's do a quick recap, and show again the list from hardest to easiest. Now that we have the modes for you to focus on, I'm going to cover each of the maps and some locations while attacking or while on Conquest. Before that, here are some quick tips to surviving longer. These should go without saying, but helpful hints and tips. Do not push alone. Utilize health stations and stay near a medic to survive longer. And finally, never ever stay in the same place and keep moving. Reposition when you get a kill after prone or after the streak you have is over, like I said a second ago. For maps, I will run through them quickly from hardest to easiest and describe each one very quickly for Breakthrough Attacking and Conquest. Top of the list is the hardest and the bottom is the easiest. Viel, Devastation, Twisted Steel, Arras, Narvik, Hamada, Aerodrome, and Rotterdam. Devastation is the most difficult as the hulls are extremely tight and allow no wiggle room. Even as aggressive recon, you need to be absolutely on point, and going prone is the last thing you want to do on this map. So starting with the second hardest is Viel. Has some good spots at the start, but ultimately when you push in becomes close quarters unless at the start it's going to be very difficult to snag the kills. Could be good for objective kills on point, again for breakthrough, and proning on the further points on Conquest can be solid, but most are bombing and bunched up as for a meat grinder. Use that to your advantage if you want to try Viel though. Twisted Steel is up next. Is very doable, but the problem is that with the marsh and various trees, an obstruction can be harder to pull off shots for either Breakthrough or Conquest. It's not impossible, but it's just other maps on the list are much easier to pull this off. Spaces north of the bridge are way too open and the bridge can be perfect, but it isn't on a point for Conquest and it can be tough. Also the space is small on Breakthrough on the bridge and does hint more so attack and point towards the marshes. You can post up from there and attack from a distance, but you gotta nail the long range headshots. Arras is up next. Really, the first sector for Breakthrough is best when attack, as most in the open fields will be on the point. After there is very limited areas and become more of a close quarters encounter. Further sectors are open and do have possibilities. Yes, you can go pro in the fields, but don't expect to live long once you pop up and you're most likely going to be dead. Conquest is doable when taking high ground, mostly on the church, and is viable, but the nasty part is dealing with the RNG of planes or tanks messing with you. Narvik will most likely have the most experience for most players from the beta and the alpha, and overall most people hang around on the open of the points. The last sector in the area on Conquest around buildings is not really key, as going for these shots may end up, running into a tank or an assault player. Hang around the bridge and flank left and right at various points to snag the kills. Just note it's going to be open, but at least most will always be on the point and be exposed from whichever angle you're going to attack from. Hamada is a great map for this achievement, as it is open, but the hard part is being able to nail the long range kills, but are going to be on the point. I say Breakthrough is easier than Conquest for one main reason. The issue for Conquest can be that it's so large and that finding the next target can take some time. And by the time someone gets on the point, you might find yourself already outgunned or outsquatted. Definitely doable though, but gotta ensure that you have the positioning yourself well and not just camping too far out on the map, otherwise you won't nail the amount of kills that you need by the time the round actually ends. Also, at least for Breakthrough, the positive is that at least it forces everyone into one narrowed spot, and all you got to do is position yourself from either from the far left or the far right to get the kills. The last sector is probably going to be the hardest for you to actually get this. Aerodrome is by far one of the best for this assignment because the objective area for the bunker is just so massive. Absolutely perfect for nailing objective kills. Also, start of the map, the capture area for the map is also open, is perfect for nailing kill after kill. Conquest and Breakthrough cannot be pushed more for being easiest for this assignment. The issues you may find is that it is really open in some areas, so you're gonna need to find cover around mostly the hills or the rocks. Be patient and have a medic near you to pick you up, because once you get a feel, kills are constantly going to need more movement to another spot, or you risk being found out and then killed. Then finally, my favorite map, Rotterdam. I feel this map is going to be perfect for objective and headshot kills, is because each sector is perfect for lining up headshots. The first sector starts you off versus everyone, and the enemy spawns exactly on the objective, and you're also near a health station. Next sector puts everyone on the bridge for you to snipe from afar on various angles, and also sector push for A for quick easy headshots while they're on the point. Also for Conquest, positioning on the bridge is easy to get the headshots or when you see people camping on it. It is overall going to be the map I see most to get the gold assignments. Note that sometimes the headshots do bug out and count even when not prone. Also, for the objective kills, the enemy has to be on the objectives for you to snag the kills. Leave a like if you found any info helpful, a dislike if you didn't, and of course, leave comments for others how you got the gold assignments. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time.